So, oh, no,
Just
right
a
again.
second, Roy. The sixth of the Rabbi Levitt, Gemora. Okay, Roy, I'm sorry.
Alan and to Roy. Okay. Good morning, Lou. Good morning. Phil. Sorry.
Oh, good morning. That's okay.
So I
It's
seem
okay.
to,
Good
I
morning
seem
to
to,
me.
yeah, I seem to be feeling all right. The doctors can come and visit me and see how I am.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
You know, I'm at that age where things happen,
mhm.
and
Well, let's see if a bit of Gemara can help you out.
Hashem takes care of us.
Amen.
So we're on 115b6.
Oh, yeah.
But in the last few lines of 115b. So, but where exactly we are, I don't know.
Okay, so we're still going on and on with this case with the wine and the shemen. So hopefully by the time we get to the end of this thread of the Gemara over here, we'll figure out what's going on.
Right.
Okay, we got a ways to go over here. We're right in the middle.
Mhm.
And so we'll take just a couple minutes to try to catch our bearings. First of all, we're going to be starting today from the words "Vaha Ru'ui Liyashno,"
Mhm.
which can be found. This is the lower bottom half of the page.
It's on 115b6 on the left side, which is the Gemara S, the second paragraph down.
Oh, yes. I see. Mhm.
Right. So we said just a minute ago that in the last line, the Gemora's answer was, we're talking about Yain Chadash, wine which is immature, less than 30 days since it's making, and it hasn't had the opportunity to mature fully so that it has a proper aroma which could be used for ziluf. Ziluf is the sprinkling in the house in order to make a nice fragrance in the house.
That's right. Yeah.
So now the Gemara's asking a question about that. V'ha ru'ui liyashno. Okay. So, Roy, would you like to read?
Right. But is the wine fit to be aged? Because once it's aged, it will be suitable for spring. Therefore, says Art Scroll, its loss does constitute a serious financial setback for the Cohen. And the Gemara answers, Iti or Isi, Bay, Liday, Tekela. The Cohen is forbidden to age this wine, for we fear that he might come thereby to an unwitting transgression. What's that? The Art Scroll actually says it. That is, that if he keeps the wine in his possession for an extended period of time, he might unthinkingly partake of it, thereby violating the prohibition against consumption of truma that is tameh. since he is in any case forbidden to age the wine, its loss is not a serious one.
Okay, let's take a look at Rashi, Dibra Maskil Takala. Last Rashi on the page. Last line.
Wait a second. Oh, to call last line. Lishotat, lishtotam, that's drinking them. Harry, and it's tummy.
Right. So this is the Gemora's answer to the question of, but it's fit to be if you keep it around, what happens to new wine, new immature wine? If you keep it around, it'll eventually become old mature wine. So really, if you have a foresight, you say this wine is potentially very valuable. I can keep it around, and it'll be good for and then it'll be, even though it's tameh, it'll be good for ziluf. It'll be good for sprinkling and causing a pleasant aroma in the house. And like we said yesterday, the ziluf value is even more than the drinking value. So that was the Gemara's question. If so, then it would represent a significant loss to the Kohen. And therefore, the question comes back. Why is it that we allow him to make this declaration if it's going to cause Hefsid Kohen, just like we said he cannot make the declaration in the case of the Shemen? The Gemara answers, Asi be lidei takala. Because if the Kohen is going to keep this tameh wine around in his house, what happens to the wine that's lying around in the house? Somebody's going to end up drinking it, and that is not a good thing, because a Kohen, he's not allowed to drink something which is he's not allowed to drink. Look, he's allowed to drink things that are tameh, but this is not. But that's only in regard to something which is chulin. If he has food or drink which is chulin, so then he would be technically allowed to drink it in a state of ritual impurity, just like anybody else would. The only problem with that here is that here we're not talking about chulin. We're talking about something which is trumas meiser, which is a matana that's been given to him by the Levi, and this is matnas kuna. It's kaddish, so it is not allowed to be drunk by the Kohen in a state of ritual impurity, and so therefore it's going to come to a takala. If it's going to be in the house, we're worried that the Kohen is going to end up drinking it, and therefore this is not an eitzah to leave it lying around and waiting for it to become yain yashan, old mature wine. So that's not an eitzah.
So we're talking about wine that is what?
Talking about wine that is less than 30 days old. It's yain chadash. So we can't allow the Kohen to keep such wine and wait for it to become yashan, old mature wine, because in this case that we're talking, this would be wine of trumas and maestris, which needs to be drunk in a state of tara. The yain has to be tahor, and the Kohen has to be tahor. In this case, he cannot drink this wine, even if he's tameh, he can't drink it. So it's not an eitzah to let it lie around and wait for it to become yashan, and then he'll be able to sprinkle it around. We're worried he's going to drink it. So therefore, nishtoken eitzah. And so therefore, it's not really fitting for ziluf. And therefore, there's not a hefsid to the Kohen. And even though we don't really understand this whole idea of hefsid Kohen, but that's the bottom line over here at this point. So therefore, we're saying that it's not regarded as a hefsid, and therefore that's the difference between the case of the yain and the case of the shemen. The shemen, we're saying it is a hefsid, and therefore that's why we said that we said that the declaration should not be made. But over here, we said by the wine, the declaration could be made because there's no hefsid to the Kohen. And hopefully one day we'll figure out this whole idea of hefsid Kohen. Okay. But in the meantime, that's the way the Gemora is reading. What we would need to do to learn more about hefsid Kohen would be we would need to look into the this is a brisa over here, so we'd have to look at the brisa or perhaps look at the Mishnayos in Maseches Maasros to see how does it work this business with the hefsid Kohen. But that's the cheshbon that we have in the Gemara. Because there's hefsid Kohen in the case of the shemen, we don't want a declaration to be made declaring this to be trumas meiser. Whereas in the case of the yayin, where there is no hefsid Kohen, that's what we're trying to show. In the case of the yayin, there's no hefsid Kohen. Therefore, that's the reason why the brisa says that it's allowed to make even the chatchila a declaration to make it trumas meiser. Okay. And now, looks like we're going to be turning the page very soon. Oh boy. So we're up to Shemen Nami. Asi Beili De Takala.
8 o'clock.
And we call upon Lou to continue the reading.
Feeling all right.
Shemen Nami
Doc's gonna come this
Say
this
Bay
week.
Lidei
Yes,
Techala.
he has to say. And,
Well,
feeling
the
bad.
base of oil also,
It's
it may
Yeah,
come
sure.
thereby to an unwitting transgression.
right. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay.
So why don't we treat the oil like we treat the wine, I guess is the question.
Right? Exactly. Why should we say by the oil we don't allow him to make a decoration l'chatchila, whereas by the wine we do? If there's a problem with the shemen also. The shemen is tameh, and therefore it could come to Takala over there as well.
The Gemora replies, Dimana bichli ma'us. He places the oil in a repugnant vessel. So there's no danger that he's going to use the oil. So why don't we say place the wine in a repugnant vessel? Oh, because you're going to use the wine eventually. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a
not
second.
me. Yeah.
Let's see. Gemora answers. Ashta the zuluf cha boye le. Now, if he requires the wine for sprinkling, And he then placed it in a repugnant vessel?
Gemara has a sense of humor. See what the Gemara is saying.
But you can't treat the wine the same as the oil because the wine is used for sprinkling.
Yeah, what was behind the Gemara's point when it says that when the Gemara said Shemen Nami Osli Bei Lidei Takala, the Shemen could come to a Takala. The Kohen could misuse this Shemen, which is Tameh. How could he do that? He's not gonna. What are we worried about? He's going to use it in his salad dressing. What's the problem? Also with shemen, it could come to a takala. How could it come to a takala? This shemen is tameh. So its proper usage, it could be used properly for adlaka, because it doesn't involve shemen tameh. He could use for adlaka to light with. So he's going to do that actually, and he's not going to consume the whole bottle. It's going to be used for lighting, and it's going to be used, a little bit at a time. But what the Gemara means is that by definition, with this shemen tameh, that he's allowed to use it for purposes of lighting, what does that mean? That means the Gemara thought that he's going to, right? He's going to use it, a little bit at a time, and as a result of that permissible usage is going to be going to amount to that it's going to be lying around also. And if so, then it should be subject to the prohibition of not allowing, not being allowed to lie around shemen, which is tameh. He would not be allowed to do that. And why would he not be allowed to do that? Presumably because we are concerned, not that he would light with it, because that would be permissible, but we're concerned that he's going to use it for internal purposes. Maybe even to anoint himself with shemen tameh is not allowed, because the Gemara says that sicha is kashtia. It says that in regard to Pesach and Yom Kippur. Maybe it would say it over here too. So at any rate,
What if it's for medicinal purposes?
well, can you violate the prohibition of drinking on Yom Kippur because you need something for medicinal purposes?
No, not that. It's not on Yom Kippur. This is not on Yom Kippur. This is just drinking the oil.
Oh no, absolutely not. The Kohen would not be able to drink tameh oil by saying no. He needs this for medicinal purposes. I mean,
Okay.
let him find something that it's not tameh that he could use for medicinal purposes. Why does he need to have this, which is tameh? Okay. So therefore, the Gemara is saying it should come out that he should not be able to allow it to lie around for a long time. So if so, then what? So if so, according to that, it's you can't leave it around. And if you can't leave it around, so then according to this cheshbon that we don't quite understand, there won't be any hefsed Cohen. And if so, it should be in the same status as the ayin. And if so, should have the same din as the ayin, which it does. Which the Brisa says it doesn't have. That's interesting because I seem to remember many years ago. Maybe I didn't understand it well. That could be. Well, okay. Maybe this is question whether shemen, which is tummy, could be given to a Kohen today for lighting purposes. Could be different opinions about that. Okay. Anyway, so that was where the Gemora was coming from, Bekitzer, when it said, but shemen also, it's going to come to a takala. And if so, then we should not allow him to use it like that. And if so, then there's no hefsid, because there's no value to the shemen, to the Kohen at that point, and that means that there's no hefsid. And if so, it should be just like the yain. On that, the Gemara says, no, we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem. He's going to put it in a special vessel. This shemen, he's going to put it in a special vessel. What's so special about this vessel? It's repugnant. It's disgusting. It's seemly, and therefore he would never use it for internal purposes. Therefore, and so therefore he's guarded himself from the takala. Says the Gemara. On that, the Gemara asked, "Oh, so why don't we do the same eitzah with the yain? We'll put it in a kli mos. We'll put it in a kli mos in a repugnant vessel, and like that, nobody will end up coming to drink it because they don't want to drink wine that is in a repugnant vessel. Chas v'shalom, they wouldn't do that. Doesn't just the thought of it turns your stomach, right?" On that, the Gemara says, "Oh, really? That's what you think that's a good eitzah? What is it that we wanted him to use? What is it that we thought that the Kohen could use this wine for? He can't drink it. We wanted him to be able to use it for ziluf. Now, does that make sense that he's going to be able to use such a wine after it's in this unseemly, repugnant vessel? He's going to use it to fragrance his house? I don't think his wife is going to like that very much. So therefore, that's not an eitzah, says the Gemara. Okay. Oh, now we go. We don't have any Rashi yet over here. And now the Gemara broaches the subject of the issue of Takala altogether. Takala Atzma. Tanoihi. That this whole matter of Takala is a subject to a machlekes Tanoim. And we're going to go to Phil to read from the Gemara.
Okay, we're about the Takala. Still no sort of a Takala. And keep that word keeps popping up. Let me see which one we're starting here.
Oh, which Takala?
There's so many.
It's the last line.
The last line, the Takala. Okay, and the Takala. And this transgression, Atzma itself, is Tanaihi. It's a matter of a dispute among the Tanaim. The Tanya was taught in a brisa there. Chavi shel yayin shel truma, a barrel of wine of truma, nitmei, that became tamei. Beit Shammai omri, Beit Shammai says, and we do turn the page.
Yay! A round of applause for Kuf Tes Vav Amid Base. 115b in Bava Kama. Gozul Machel, Perik Asiri. We're getting close to the finish line.
You say Tisha Pechakol, you have to spill it all out. But Behila and Imrain say Ziluf. You can use it for sprinkling. Okay. And the first Rashi on the page is 2 words, Tishafei Hakol, spill it out, is Kula, Biyachad, all of it together in one shot. It's not a slow sprinkling, it's a quick sprinkling.
We're worried if it's a slow sprinkling, he's going to end up taking a drink, I guess. It's interesting that Rashi says that. Okay. So this we see already is a machlokes tanoim. Here we have what do we mean? What do we mean when we say it's a machlokes tanoim? What is a machlokes tanoim? Here you've got a case in this brisa of a barrel of yain, and it's a yain of truma. So now truma can only be used by a kohen, and the truma has to be that the kohen is tahor and the truma is tahor. That's the only way that he can enjoy this gift. So here it became tameh. So now what does he do? So Beis Shammai says, no eitzah, pour it out. Rashi says, pour it out all at once, right away. Chas v'shalom. He should never drink from it, even a drop. Beis Hillel says, wait. Don't get so excited. He'll be able to use it for ziluf. He's gonna let him have it. Let him have it around, and he'll use it for ziluf. He's got this big barrel of wine over here, and it's tameh through and through, yain of truma. And now Beis Hillel says, let him use it for ziluf. How many drops do you think he's going to need every day? And how long is this barrel going to be lying around in his house? I would say a very long time. But Beis Hillel, aren't you worried about the problem of takala? Maybe this Cohen is going to get a yen for a cup of wine one day, and he's going to take some of it. What is Beis Hillel going to say to you? Not worried. We're not worried about that, says Beis Hillel. Let him keep this wine around, and he'll use it for aroma. That could be months before he finishes all this wine. Beis Hillel's not worried. So what do we see? We see that Beis Hillel is not even concerned about the whole concept of takala. Only Beis Shammai is worried over here. Beis Hillel doesn't seem to be worried at all. And what do we say generally when we have a machlokes between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel? Who's the halacha like?
Beis Hillel.
Beis Hillel. Beis Shammai b'makom Beis Hillel. When Beis Shammai argues with Beis Hillel, ain't no Mishnah. It's as though it hasn't been taught what Beis Shammai says. There's a few exceptions, but we'll see if this is one of them. Generally say the looks like Beis Hillel. If so, then everything that we've been talking about for the past 10 lines is going to go out the window. Let's see what the Gemora answers over here. Amar Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Yossi, and we go back to Lu.
Rabbi Yishmael, the son of Rabbi Yossi, said, Ani achriya,
Oh,
I will tip the balance. The base te'aseh ziluf.
das ist die Läufe.
In the house, it should be used for sprinkling. I'm sorry. Uva sadeh tishafech. But in the field, it has to be poured out.
Tishafech hakol.
I'm sorry, I missed hakol. All of it should be poured out in the field. I don't understand. What's it doing in the field?
Yeah, what's it doing in the field? Yeah, is that what it means? Did it if it became tame while it was if the barrel became tame when it was in the field, so that's it. We got to pour it out. We can't even take the chance of bringing it into the house.
Was taken out.
Let's see what Rashi says. There's a Rashi over here.
The Rashi is okay. He could bring it into the field. The Sadeh. If he could in the field, he could spill it all.
Yeah.
The mamate lay. The ad mamate lay on the ground.
The dalit is that. That on this that he mamate he reaches until he reaches lay lagoy beisa.
Lagoy into his house there.
Yeah, lagoy means inside.
Inside his house.
Yeah.
Coming to the Kala on the way.
Right. So worried we are that if it becomes tame, this barrel of wine in the field, he's got to pour it out right there, right away, and we don't even allow him to bring it into the house. Why? Says Rashi. Because we're worried that on the way he's going to get thirsty and have something to drink over here. And then he will have come lidei takala. He'll come to a stumbling block to come over here. So even that for that amount around in a situation where the kohen
in the matter of sprinkling doesn't come into it.
Well, in other words, if it became tame in the house, if it becomes tame in the house, so then Rabbi Mishmol Rabbi Yossi said, "Teaseh ziluf, do ziluf with it." I don't quite understand the point though. First of all, until the time that he does ziluf with it, maybe that'll be tomorrow, and then he's got a whole day to be concerned about drinking the wine. We're worried he'll drink the wine. Why? I don't understand why it is that just because it's in the Sada, it's one step removed. It's one step removed. If it's already in the house, so then he's gonna he doesn't need to do the step of bringing it into the house. So until he manages to do zilip with it, it's going to be less time than if it's in the field. If it's in the field, then he's got to first get it into the house, and so that step we don't want to take a chance on, says Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Yossi about. But I don't understand. Even if I thought the problem was if it's going to be used for zilip, it's going to be he's going to only do zilip a little bit at a time. It's going to be lying around for a long time, even after he started to use it.
If the barrel is taken out into the field in order to for workers to quench their thirst, reason, and you've got Tomei there, then as you're taking it into the house, that amount of time, someone might be thirsty and grab some wine.
Okay.
Even after he's done zilip with it, why are we not concerned after that? He's not gonna need a whole barrel of wine to do one sprinkling of his house.
No, I'm talking about outside of the house. There's one talking about the wine being even the time it takes for the wine to be brought into the house. The Tomei wine to be brought into the house. Yeah, it's not good enough.
Right. Correct. And if we're not willing to allow even that amount of time, but I don't understand why is there not a color after it's been used?
Yeah, well, I'm giving a reason for it not being used. That we're worried about that small amount of time. If there are workers, they might just grab.
Okay. To be continued. Yasher koyach, everybody.
Be well.
All the best. Have a good day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Bye, Lou. Bye, Roy. And bye, Alan.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, Phil.
Okay. Be well.